Curtis Calhoun here with MMA News, and right now I am joined by Chelsea Hackett, who's getting ready to return on the PFL Challenger Series. How's it going, Chelsea?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Obviously, an exciting time for you on the PFL Challenger Series coming up. Big opportunity. Just kind of walk me through these past few years. Obviously, it's been a while since MMA fans have seen you compete, but how pumped are you to return to the cage next month?
Oh man, I'm so excited to get back in the cage. It's been a long 2 years. Lots of injuries, setbacks, not getting opponents. So I'm just I just can't wait to get back in there.
When you go through something like that, when you have to deal with, injuries and not getting opponents and all that, did that impact like your mentality at all in terms of your motivation or anything like that? Because obviously, I feel like when you go a long time without a fight like that, sometimes you can get down on yourself and need to bounce back.
Yeah, look, that's something that I'm really proud of myself. I never wavered from my goal, and I never wavered from the fact that this is what I want to do and this is my career. So, what I've been through the last 2 years, 100% could have broken a lot of people, and the constant frustration, getting back to training after injuries, being in fight camps, and then being told your opponent never said yes, just all of those things, so much adversity can demotivate you 100%, but I never let it. I always said that everything happens for a reason and it's for a bigger purpose, and I am going to get my opportunity to fight in the cage again, and it will happen when it needs to happen, and this is now the opportunity that's amazing and presented itself.
Do you feel like your experience fighting on the Dana White's Contender Series almost gives you kind of an advantage in terms of knowing what to expect, in terms of knowing what the panel might want, in terms of offering you a contract and all that? Do you feel like that gives you an advantage, especially mentally entering the Challenger Series?
Yeah, absolutely. On the Contender Series, I suffered my first MMA loss. So with that, obviously comes with a lot of, working on my weaknesses, a lot of time and hours in the gym. But yeah, I think walking into this experience, going through what I did on Contender, it's very similar. You are fighting for a bigger contract, and you need to impress those judges on the panel and the president. So I've been there, I've done that, and I did it in the middle of COVID with Contender, which was hard in itself. So I'm just really excited to just fight again. It's been so long.
Yeah, it's an exciting time for the PFL too, right? Because obviously we have the launch of the flyweight division this year. Obviously, a lot of exciting prospects like yourself. How much would it mean to you to not only get that contract, but also help initiate kind of that new division in the PFL?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the thing that really excites me about this opportunity is, it's a new group of girls. We're all coming in, and it's a fresh division. And obviously, my goal is to take it all the way. Challenger to champion is where it's at, and that's the road that I want to take. So, yeah, I think there's so much opportunity being a new division in the PFL, and all the eyes are on those new divisions and the talent that they have in there. So I'm just really excited to be a part of it and take it all the way.
Australia has really produced some top talents in MMA. Obviously, you got Robert Whitaker, Alexander Volkanovski. Talk to me a little bit about the culture of MMA down there. For those that may not be as familiar with Australian MMA, like how big is the sport down there?
Yeah, look, Australian MMA is growing rapidly. It is getting bigger. It's getting more well known, obviously, with our champion Alex Volkanovski, and now our PFL champion Rob Wilkinson. So it's definitely got a lot more hype around it than it did a few years ago. And yeah, opportunities like this, especially for me being a female and Aussie, it's definitely those guys that are paving the way for us young up and comers that want to follow in their footsteps. So yeah, it's growing, it's getting momentum, and it's really exciting. Aussie MMA is definitely on the map now.
What was kind of the moment when you kind of determined that, this is what you wanted to do for a living and that this was a passion for you? Like, when did you first get into MMA?
Look, I've been in martial arts my whole life. I started when I was 8. Then I was a Muay Thai fighter from 12 to 19. So, it happened at quite a young age for me. It definitely happened when I was fighting Muay Thai. I knew that I loved to fight. I wanted to, make a career, make a living out of fighting. But MMA was always that next step. Muay Thai, there's only so much you can do and achieve. And when it comes to what you really can achieve in martial arts, MMA is definitely where it's at. So it was always a goal to transition, but it was definitely a goal that I saw myself, in my late 20s. It was something I would go down, and I was going to stay in Muay Thai for a little bit longer. But I was 19 when I did the transition, and within 6 months of jiu-jitsu training, I was, called up for my first MMA fight. And I can never knock down opportunities. You'll never see me say no. So as soon as my coach just said, "Do you want to have an MMA fight?" I was like, "Of course." Like, I'm not going to say no to that. And yeah, as soon as I left the cage on that first fight, I was like, "There's no way I'm going back to Muay Thai." So, I made a decision, then to give this sport, MMA, all my time, all my energy. I knew it was going to be hard, making that transition and learning the ground game and the wrestling, but I just knew time and hours on the mat was just going to make me better and better.
Yeah, because obviously MMA fans know yourself as having a really strong stand-up background with Muay Thai, as you mentioned. What do you want PFL fans to know about you and your style in the cage? Like, what kind of fights can they expect going forward? Obviously, you get this contract, you're in the PFL. What can they expect from your style and all that?
Yeah, I really just want to show, how much work I've put in over the last 2 years, since my last fight. No one has seen me fight, but they also haven't seen, what I've been doing in the gym. I've kept pretty quiet on my socials, and I just am working so hard behind the scenes. So, this is definitely the lane that I just want to show people. This is me now. I'm a well-rounded MMA fighter. I don't want to be known as just a kickboxer. Like, I want to show people, I've got strong wrestling, I've got strong ground game, like, and that's my goal, to just show I'm establishing myself as a full MMA fighter.
Yeah, do you feel like you kind of have a chip on your shoulder in a way in terms of, like that stereotype of, oh, she's just a kickboxer or whatever? Like, do you kind of have that chip on your shoulder in terms of wanting to show off that you're well-rounded and you can do a bunch of different things in the cage?
Yeah, like, I wouldn't, definitely, if you'd asked me that question a year or a year and a half ago, I would have said yes. Going through that hard time after Contender, and yeah, being told that, she's just a kickboxer, she's got nothing else. And, it does get frustrating, and I did have a chip, but not so much now. Like, I'm very much like, I'm just comfortable where I am. I'm comfortable in the progress that I've made, and I just want to show that to everyone. It's definitely not a chip anymore. I've gotten over that. I've grown as a fighter and as a person, and it's just me now showing the work that I've been doing every day in the gym.
When you have some time to relax and take your mind off of fighting and training and all that stuff, what do you like to do for fun? What are some of your hobbies and passions outside of MMA?
Well, I'm from the Gold Coast, so I love the beach. I love the sun. We morning walks, coffees, all of that sort of stuff. So very outdoorsy type of girl I am. And I actually love shopping. So that gets me. When I'm not in the gym, I like just shopping. Terrible addiction, but it's fun.
Absolutely. Well, hey, last question for me. What's your message to all the fans back home getting ready to watch your appearance in the PFL Challenger Series, the fans that have supported you through, as you mentioned, that tough time with the layoff and all that? What's your message to the fans back home ahead of this fight?
Look, I just want to say thank you to all of them, because they have stuck by me, and they have, been on this anticipation for the last 2 years with me, getting excited when I have a match up, heartbroken when I don't, and getting injured and all that. So they've honestly ridden the wave with me, and I just want to thank them for just still supporting me, and I just can't wait to show everyone the new version of me, and just so excited to fight, man. Like, I just want to get in there and fight.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. Well, Chelsea, it was great to meet you. Great to chat with you. We can't wait for the
Thank
fight
you.
next month. And I have a feeling we'll definitely chat again soon. Thank you so much for the time. I
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much.